this should be enough for this to work. As I always say, if this is working, this time I don't check if it's working. My problem, but that is easy to fix, I just do this, I don't know. Let's just put it here to hear me on the back on the loop so I know when time has passed and also when things had happened, you know? So one thing I never showed you this, like I printed this like long time ago. Like I have the stream where it's printed, but it's not good. Like I like how this end up looking. Just stay here for now. Um, Today is the second day of the 8th month of the first year after the Torash. And think that I have censored on the stream description because it's funnier, right? It's funnier that. I know that I don't have sound on the desktop thing, but I do not care about that because that is the intention of it. So I posted yesterday this small thing. I think that I'm gonna just show you quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna change to here. So yesterday on the night I post this. I also censored it here. THORASH. Yeah, it's okay. So basically, it's just a quick post where I say like, hey, I have takes so long on doing things. Uh, what is the problems that I had, right? And like it's for example, uh, like I needed something to be right because like there is this scene. I can just go here. Here, the Ashkont. So it's like, oh, I need the Ashkont, baby. What do I do? And it's like, well, it's easy as you know, like all of these two scenes I haven't recorded, but then it's like, well, originally these scenes were like in the eye from that moment, like a foretelling on the future, but then I was like, the way to do it, like it was not good. The camera didn't have resolution. I didn't like the test that I did, so I was like, you know what? Let's just put it as something that is happening as a single scene and that's it, right? Like I am missing these two, but according to this, probably I cannot see it there. Why? But you cannot see it. Next week, probably I'm gonna record these two things. Yeah, but basically I'm telling on that post about that, like how I haven't been able to do this, but why to wait for that? I film all of this. Like this one is another one that I film afterwards. Um, what else I added? Like the render times. You use that time, like when you taking showers, eating breakfast. Like if you are all the day working on that, use it for that. But it's also like, hey, take time to not do that. What's probably like me is just going to be playing something instead of rendering. So it's like, hey, use the time that you force yourself to leave and like render it because like this scene it took so long to render. Like I cannot tell you how long it took to render all of this, especially this section. Like it's probably like I don't know how much because it was like 30 minutes each frame. And then so that I disable motion blur and a lot of things that I usually have just to have it like properly. So when something takes too long, like I think that this also applies for this that it was like taking so long on doing the scene that it was like, oh, I probably be more effective if I leave that scene for a while and do it afterwards than just trying to no, I need to finish it. And like sometimes like having times to not working on that it's been useful a lot. Like super, super a lot. So what we are going to do now is that I share this thing on the description, shala shala shala. But what I want to do is to start doing some color correction, right? Like I think that this thing has grain, but you don't see it because it's very subtle. Because there is scenes, okay, this is subtle also. I like how it ended up looking on the end, like with this background more painterly. I can show you how I do it, but it is not super necessary, so let's just jump into what is we think that we're gonna be doing and probably showing you how I did some of this. Like for example, this one, I think that this one I just changed the brightness of the, like it was like a bunch of photos. I assembled them and then it's just like add glows on top of it. Like this is how originally was looking. This is how it looks afterwards. So I added two glows. This glow and this glow. Then I also these bitmaps, so basically like parts where more brightness is there is less noise. It's like on camera. And it ended up looking like this. And then here it's just like I scale it up to fit onto the screen. So let's start with this image, right? Like this one, it's very simple. That's nothing. Or it was simple the execution because originally it's just pop this image. So it's over there. I don't think no you it's not super clear if yeah, probably change it. It's here. You can see it here. It's not glowing, it's just simple stuff, right? But we are digital. And that is the cool thing that we can mix both mediums. Why do you stay with the limitations that we got from the physical medium, but we explore more? So I was like, hey, let's make glow. And more importantly, let's make it glow like the lightning. It's very subtle because it appears too quick. But here there is no lightning, right? So I needed to patch everything that is here on these meshes, how it's patched. And then I animated the max to appear like in a couple frames, so probably around here. I don't know when. There's like some frames that, like here is no frame, no, here is full lightning. And then of course I added like some glow on top of it. Like I make all of these things to glow. I have this glow image, blah blah blah. I added glow. Like I could also duplicate this and have both. I like it how it looks. So now let's do color correction of this thing, right? So what I do is usually just this way. Mm. What we should do, let me move this here, is that, so this one is going to be more like a bluish color because of the thing. So first of all, I feel that I like to always do this, but what I know that is important is to show, there was a way to show the four of these. Ah, there you go. Like I just split this here, so I can show the waveform. Oh, I have it here. I can have my parade and my histogram. So this tells me which colors are am I going, right? So I feel that even when we have yellow here, like this yellow, we can push it towards the little more towards this area or yellows. instead of having like for me to be on this area, right? So this is telling us that we are losing information, especially I feel that is on this area. And we can add the contrast more here. This is telling us how much of each color it's appear, and this is telling us how much of each color is like saturating. For example, the greens we can lift it a little bit. So I'm gonna add, I have it this on a shortcut because by default you cannot do that. I'm gonna use this for shadows. What I'm gonna do, not shadows, like I'm gonna do a simple contrast thing. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on the log. Oh, I'm just noticing that there is no more HDR color wheel. Oh wait, it's here. Ha 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 ha. I'm not gonna use the HDR, I'm gonna use this one simple. So if I move this, you can see how things move from the clipping, right? And like we recover some images, which it makes sense. I'm just gonna have it a little up over there. So this is how it looks, and I'm gonna leave the clips there. So this is how it looks now. Like I think that yeah, so this is how it looks originally. This is how it looks with that change small. So the midtones, we wanted to go a little down. So we create this contrast and this stay here, right? You can see how this change here. So I'm gonna go here. But like you can see that on the histogram, that is the quantity of colors, like it changed. So I'm gonna focus on this to make it appear here. Finally, the highlights. In the highlights, I'm gonna push it up. Then I'm gonna offset this like this. So we mute this. This is before and after. Like now the color are more popping up. Like you can see the yellow spot more. So what we can do, I'm going to also hide the clips for now. On the timeline, I think that I was able to hide the timeline. I don't remember how. Timeline and the not the nose, the effects that we are not using for now. So we can have more. Like I wish that you can change the aspect ratio of this, but cannot help everything, right? So what we need to do now is to, okay, so we have this contrast one. Now let's use the curves to add more contrast. So I'm gonna just call it also S2 because I don't know the terms of this. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to focus in on like this. I wanna push this up. So you can see that I can move this here, right? I'm gonna move this here. So I can have this glowing more intense. And what I wanna do is I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna push this towards here. Now we can have this good curve. So if we see like this and we mute them, this is before, after, like it is more glowing now, right? Like you can see more glowing. So now I wanna also add one And what I want is probably let's use this color warp. When I don't know what am I doing, I usually name it the name of this, right? So I'm gonna select this point, and I want this to be more towards here. I'm gonna select this point. Ooh, moving it towards here makes it this yellow. Moving it towards here makes it more saturated and pop out. So we can make them come yellow. We can make them go more orangey, which I feel that it's better. But it's probably too saturated, so let me reset this too. I'm focusing here on this, and also like because of that, we're going to just up the highlights and down the highlights a little bit to compensate for this afterwards. And the color warp, like is this color, right? I think that what I want to do is I'm gonna add more points. So this color, like you can see how if we move this, it changes that, right? I'm gonna move it towards this orangey color. If I move it towards here, it's desaturated and more glowy. If I move it towards her, it's going to be more yellow. Probably what I want is not to make it pink. Probably like this. So we have this triangle here. So, so if we deselect this and we hide it, like we can see that we make a little of change over here. So we make this more yellowish, right? Something that we can do is we can add color saturation specifically. So we can go here, this, I think that is hue saturation, right? So what we can do is we can select this blue, and you can see how we can make it glowing more. So if I make it up a little bit like this, like you can have this beautiful color. So what if I select, for example, this one? If we get that, change it. Yeah, it's not too much. So I'm gonna just, since we cannot lift this, I'm gonna just do this. Something that we can do also is change the temperature of the color of the shot. So we can go here and see we can make it more colder, but since it's not, I feel that it's going to be a little more warmer. And then I'm gonna use a separate one to use the tint. Like I like to have it simple effect. So we can make it more saturated. So now we have before and after, like it's just the glow that we're affecting here, right? Now we can also go and add general saturation. So if we make it black and white, we can see how good our things, and like the silhouette's a little bit lost, but I think that the normal is like 50, yeah. I guess that I'm gonna just desaturate it a little bit, like a 40. And that's all that I'm gonna do. So we have this here. None of our colors is clipping, which is good. And something that we can do um, we can make it more softly. And I wanna do that. So to build the idea that this is like a dream, I'm going to add these details. So like if we add more, but you can see that as more as we soften this, like it goes to this pastel tone, right? Like that's too much. That's extreme. So we are, I think, on 0 originally, right? Yeah, originally it's on 0. So I guess that like, what about 15? Probably what I'm gonna do is side loose. Probably like this. Negative 10 is a good point. So we get this. Like it's barely visible that we add something. That's something that you want. Like you don't want to make. Like here. It's barely. Like I don't even see much change here. I'm gonna go. I think at here. You can see change, right? So 50. So what if we go to the half of that? Negative 25. You see change there. So let's go back on negative 15. Don't see much change. So like the points that we want it to be subtle. I think that here is something that yeah, you can start seeing here some subtle changes. You don't lose the texture. Yeah, I can just so like you can see here like how it changed. So like probably you don't notice it, but like so this is a way to have this, right? So do we need something else on this? I don't think so. Think that this is done. I think at least for now, it is done. Probably I will add something afterwards, like in a general way. I mean, we can go on the offset and make it more purplish. I feel that this is the best thing for now, at least for this clip, right? So let's choose the other clips. And this one is another one that we have done, right? So you can do one test and copy this, right? And like sometimes it's gonna work, but this time the same tricks do not work. So I'm going to reset node. I'm gonna do this. And let's do the same. So we here want to have these two extremes opposite, so to make contrast, right? First of all, we can see that things are not so balanced. So let's top these lower values. And let's add raise the midtones. Let's decrease the highlights. So this is before, this is after, like it's more flat right now. So now we want to have this curve. I'm gonna put this just for me here. Because I don't know why you don't. If I close it, you go back there. The problem is that if I close you, I cannot see the four of you, so that's a bummer. Because I need to change them and I don't like that. Okay. What we do is this one. We go to the corpse here. We change it so we have it more. If I do this, the curves go up and down, right? Like as a general offset. So I'm gonna move it here. I can have some highlights here. I'm gonna move them all. I wanna increase the shadows and decrease the highlights. So this way our curves looks like this or waveform. Like this just moves. What is this one? Oh, the spectrum. Okay. Can I minimize the size of this? No. Okay, so we have this. Now what I wanna change is like probably the saturation. Make it more vibrant the colors. But we can add this like this color, this saturation color. There is another. This I think that is this one now. Actually is no, it's not this one. Bloom desaturation, not color. Bloom desaturation. So what we do is we desaturated the darker color, right? So we can do is we create this valley. So neither like super bright stuff. Going to be mint. Something like this. We get right, like we get this idea of more balanced stuff. If we can do is like gold desaturation. So on this one, we can select these reddish colors. We can push the saturation, right? To make it more vividly, we can desaturate a little bit like the background. And therefore, this something like this. We don't want to oversaturate this. This okay. I'm gonna just slightly this, so don't we get that halo? So just slightly, just slightly down this one. So we get these colors. Now that we get that, we can also add a temperature. This one, what we can do is like make it. Oh, it's not connected even. That is why it's doing so bad. So, of course, like I go super harsh on this. So wanna go a little towards the blues. Then what I'm gonna do is something that I wanna test is remove this and move this here. But what if I do this auto thing? What you do? Because I usually do not use them. Yeah, like it somehow creates stuff that is super weird. That's why I don't. I don't know how to use it properly, so that's why I don't use it. Like for example, also this panel. I do not know how to use it. there's stuff of this result that I don't know how to use that I feel that if I knew, like better things will do. So we're gonna have this like a tint. I'm gonna push 2 bars. This. Okay, let's put like the 15. Put on 20 this one. You can see small change on the color. And what I wanna do now, it's probably I wanna have like a warp to have more. I wanna grab the, for example, this color. Push it like this. This blur polish, let's push it again, more saturated. I want the yellows to be more centric like this. Probably we. No, there was a way for me. Thing like this, so we decrease the duration of this a little bit of the purple. Let me erase this. Make this orange more reddish. Like this, yeah, that's better. Rather, you should be towards the purple-ish blue. So let's make it more blue. Or do we want the purple too? So let's move you subtly towards here. And let's you move up here. So we have more like blue towards purple and purple. Purple towards blue. Then we can go to this one. We also increase the color of it. So this is how it looked before. This is how it looks now. I don't know why it's not rendering. Basically, this is before, this is after. Probably because of the stream, it's not rendering properly. So now let's add the details layer. This one. So let's put it over there. So this 60, it looks too much. So I'm gonna go the point that there is something. Yeah, like this. We have this. And if we look at these curves, like they never clip, like they look okay. So it's good. So we have done this one. We have done the color of this and this one. Let's focus on this one now, which it's a lot of things to do, as you can see. So we can try to use the same as this one, it does not work. The same as this one, it does not work. So and then what we do is we increase the shadows here, so we recover some details on these zones. I'm going to do a little bit of this and also a little bit of that. So now what we do is like, oops. So we make it more bright and down. We make it more dark and up. So now with this, we pass from this to this, right? So this one, obviously, we want it more towards this eye. So let's do that. Warp. I think that I have been writing warp like wrong all the time. So what we want is, for example, this. Let's go to the 8. gonna make those reddish. On the greens, let's decrease the this green. Okay, so I think that's okay. Now let's make the purplish. This one more towards up here. Something like the yellows, oranges, like this. Probably will leave it as it is. We saturate it up. We can make this more towards this color. So let's see if this looks good. Okay, it's more bright now, so that's good because it's helping for the context that it's using. And now with that warp color, let's just add the temp. Obviously, we need to go towards the blues. So that's too much. I think that this is okay because it's just adding it more gold, but it's not adding too much. Now we can add a tint node. Using the ground one, so tint mode. We make everything more pinkish. So let's set it on at 30%. Yeah. Yeah, 30% is okay. Now let's add lumpy saturation. Gonna have it around here, so we are okay with the scopes for now. So we decrease this. Let's put it like this way. Something like this. Something like this. Yep. So now what we wanna do is like UV sat. Thing that is not this one. So these red colors. Or is QB illumination? That's this one. No, it's UV sat that we want. So this red we decrease it a little bit, not too much. So just a little bit. We want the yellow. I don't see it changing, so I'm gonna just leave it there. I want this pinkish to be more Right. Actually, let's desaturate a little bit the pink towards the end. This green. It's very solid on the edges, but it's happening, right? On this one, something that we can also add is a vignette. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab here, I'm gonna select circle, I'm gonna have it from here. So I'm gonna make it like this. I think that if I select this, I can see how it's coloring. So I'm gonna make sure that this is appearing. Something like this is okay for me. So now I think that I need to invert it. Make it a little bigger, like this. And then what we do is we add shadows, decrease. And we make the contrast. So now we have this darker, right? So this is more brighter. We can also add something that I can't tell. Try is just to add something like this. But I don't know. A loot, right? Like loots. So, for example, this. Theme looks. Like if one of these looks, no, I don't think that they're gonna look good because they're like. But the point is that I don't remember if I am able to change the. Yeah, I don't feel that these are going to be useful for me. Like I need to download better routes. That's for the future. I feel that I need to do one more, but I don't know what else. So let's just add like details. I feel that on this one it's to be more subtle. Something like this. Because I wanna keep like the texturing. Like this is too much. And this one I still see the details here. I'm gonna leave it like this, like negative 10, 12. So if we go this, yeah, I feel that that is okay. So this is how, this one I need. We don't have the, we don't need that. This is before, this is after. Like so much changes by doing that small element. How long have I been here? Because like it's not some stuff that is super interesting. I mean, like we have some color like our warning, like washes. So probably what I want to do is I also want to do is this one on the corpse. The thing that you can do is to see which one, like for example, this. I think, oh, it's because of that. No, it's because of the thing. So like you are not doing anything wrong. So we are missing this too. This is going to be a scene with fire, which I still do not have fucking clue how I'm gonna do that. Like because I feel that if this is this color, like you can just, I can color it like this way, right? Like changing my offsets to wash blue. Okay, so I know how to do it. Like this one, we want the contrast. So let's see. Let's up the highlights a little bit to have room with them. Let's decrease this. And let's go move towards the moment when there is light. So we can play with this better. So what we can do that I can just go this corpse. Let's make this darker. This like that. I don't like how this looks. Okay, I want these highlights to be down. Level up actually. I need these shadows to be down, right? That's somehow good. Like we have an hour already, right? An hour, don't know how much. Probably 30 minutes more. We have this shot which I do not like. Like I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like it's this going to fade to black, and then like I going to change this one. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna change it. Okay, let's do this. Let's make this temperature change. So if I make it more orangey, like if I make it more blue, so before this we can all uh, um, relux. So you can make the shadows blue. But that's probably too much, but I can make the shadows. I can make the midtones purple and the highlights I want them to be more orangey. So my highlights have this orange color. Thing like this. Then we can change the temperature to be a little blue, like 120. We can have like something like this. That you change towards orange. Obviously, that's too much. Something. I don't like it. Like I was thinking to add like some sort of like gray here, but like having it this cold, especially because of the audio. Not because it's like this idea of a nightmare. So having it like this, not warm thing, it feels like it's like the proper thing to have. So I'm gonna do it like this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this one. this one. Focus. But in general, not only to details, like in general. So 0.5, 0.6 seems okay. We have this blue color, so if we go through every part of this, and we pass on this, like we stay on these colors, right? So when this change to blue, this it's okay to be blue, right? So it is like this balance on the color that we get. I don't know this one. And these ones, we should start to fix them. Like I cannot copy that one. So what if I select this? I add this. Raise my shadows a little bit. Variation to the midtones. I cut my highlights. Then I got the corpse. So this can go. I can increase a little bit my highlights. I get, for example, my shadows darker. What I can do is like I can temperature node and I make it like a little warmer. Like that's better, like warmer color. I don't know if that bit will help here. Probably, but very subtle, like a 5. No, like a 10th. Okay, I think at this point is where you start having it. So at 20. Yep. 20. And even I dare say like a 15. Yeah, 15 is visible, but there is not too not too much. So I'm gonna add saturation because it's very, very sad. Saturation. I'm gonna have it like on 30 this one on 20. So again, not much, but you can see it on this color, right? What's more. We can do is like I'll move it slightly there. Color wrap. And I'm gonna go to UV set. So we can saturate like colors like skin colors. We can make it a little more warmer. We can have bloom reset. So we decrease this and we see how much saturation do we want on the shadows. Like this looks okay. Something like this looks okay. Like it's very subtle, you barely see it. Something that I also want to do is I want to go here. I'm going to reduce the film grain a lot. So I have film grain here. So it's nice. I'm gonna put it on 0.4. I'm gonna put it on 0.2. But we reduce the noise because there is too much. So same as this. 0.5, 2. This one. 0.2. To make it more subtle. What we can do is add a little of. We add a color wrap, we got the saturation. Something that we can do is the focus. Focus, this one. Focus. Like this. This give it more noisy, so I'm gonna just do it this way. You can see the light here. Huh, it's okay. And you are going to add one for. This is before, this is after. It is a way changer. I'm gonna add the thing here. But what? Don't know. I'm going to add over this scene. What do I want here? Like I have it like what is it? I got it. I remember what I add. I'm gonna add a mask from here, from the window. Then like this. Now, what I'm gonna do is I wanna contrast that, but like I need to invert the mask. Something like this. So I'm gonna contrast there. So if I hide this, we can do the same but inverse, and we use the highlights to bring that up. So this is how it looks without the vignette, with the vignette. So this is before, this is after. Now let's see if we can copy this here. Yeah, I guess so. Now we change the mask towards here, smaller, and like this. Yeah, so we copy this one on probably this one. Yeah, I mean, like we want similar at least. I don't know if in this one we want this. How it looks before more warm the colors, which it's something that it's okay. So let me just copy that from this previously. So now we can go towards this, for example, the temperature here, and like decrease it to like a 50, for example, right? So it's a 50 instead of like 100. The tint, so our contrast here is also going to be the same, right? So I want to go deselect everything, and I'm going to go one by one, just making it look good. I wanna have the shadows here. Okay. So increase the highlights here. Oh, the midtone, sorry. The midtone goes here. The highlights, we move it down. We can move the midtones up. So the corpse now. We can make this go down. It's like this. Now, oops, on the temperature, we make it a little warmer. But because it's the computer, we don't warm it a lot. So the tint, I feel that is okay. Saturation, actually here, it feels that it's decreasing. I'm gonna go like this. Yeah, something like that. The color grab doesn't feel bad. Probably make it a little less aggressive. There is not much change on this one, that I'm gonna leave it like that. This one also can be leave like this. This one, I need to change. Don't know if something like this. So we increase the contrast a little bit and we decrease the shadows. So now, yep. And then we do this. I think that this is the way of doing this. Yeah, more orangey. This one will leave it like that. This one has that color. This one, it's a problem because we pass from this to this. So this one, it's okay, the color correction, right? But as it passes here, now I wanna copy this one, but now it shouldn't be orangey, but it should be more towards the blue. So I'm gonna just negative this color. So this one. And I'm gonna leave it on the purplish orange. And this color grab, instead of going up, it should go down. Probably here on the temperature, we don't want that big change. Something like this. I wanted to have less color bust. Yeah, I think that so far is okay. On this one, we copy this, but the temperature should decrease a more colder tone now. Yep. So probably in this one, like this. Now it's a more sad color, right? Then we have this. Let me see if I can just this hope. This one. So it's either way we use all the time this color. Okay, this one helps with this color. I think the blue tint helps here. I think that the blue sets the mood. Okay, that's not done yet. So there, here we need to change this contrast because probably on the corpse it's going to be. This temperature, we can go a little more like this. Tint, let's go 20. Color wrap. So it was here. Okay, let's now select everything. Okay, we need to change this. Like this. Like this. Okay, so now the corpses are just too bad. This is just too much, so 350. There you go. Duration, let's reset to 60. Color goes to 12. Yes. Now we can grab this. Just change this to what's here. Oh, why is that there? there. I think that I have put things that I shouldn't have put there. Like I have done scenes that I haven't edited yet. Okay, so let me see. You can see everything now. Without sound, but you can see it. That looks good. That looks good so far. I like that one. So this is okay so far. That is just to be fixed. I still thinking what to add there. I like this. On a crash. Like I like this color, warm color. So obviously, okay, let's just start fixing things. Obviously, this one. Film grain is just to the stop. This make it more subtle. So this one looks okay too. This one, think that I'm gonna keep that same color on all of them actually. I'm gonna put it more generic, this mask. Know that I can't do it like individual, but in this one it looks good that. Okay, so these are fusion. You should have. You are still not done, so you shouldn't have. Polar fusion should have, and fusion should not have color correction. You are, you should got this color correction. We have color correction, like for example, there is mm, too strong. So I think that let's just leave it for here now. And I think how to fix this. Because like here, this looks good. I need to wait for this to render so I can see it all in full screen. One continuous string. And see if I do some changes, but I will need to do the changes from this base that I like it. Because for example, this is too saturated. Others look good, but others do not look good. So, like for example, this one with color correction looks bad. So, we'll leave it here. It was productive. Like I'm gonna start looking at all of them and see like, okay, I like this one for now. Mark it as a complete and continue from there. But I guess that this was all for today. See you next week, and probably I share you one picture of something later on the day. Who knows?